I'm hoping that you are looking at what we kind of consider our real Wesleyan roots, and that is how we live out our faith and our biblical understanding of what our faith means in everyday life, outside of what the societal pressures are, the unfiltered part, the break it down. In fact, just this past Sunday, we used this verse from Micah. He has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. Now that was from the ESV. That's a translation I don't always use, but it was here. This understanding of doing justice, especially for the poor. Wesley considered one of the means of grace was to tend to those in prison, tend to the poor, tend to those who are there. The justice for those. You know, we have a society, as we said last week, somehow we've gotten confused, and we think by lifting someone else, putting someone else down for a little while, lifting someone else, putting someone else down for a while, somehow creates justice. The Supreme Court has a blindfold on the statue of justice. Yet we have a society that we know that more often than not you can get as much justice as you can afford. Isaiah 58, 1-10 says it this way. This is about true and false worship. And you say, what does that have to do with justice? Well, are we really seeking justice for those who have less, those who are poor, as Wesley would have been doing? Or are we swinging the scales up and down, thinking somehow we can fix the problem? Isaiah says, shout with the voice of a trumpet blast. Shout aloud. Don't be timid. Tell my people in Israel of their sins, yet they act so pious. See, that's what we do. We talk about this and, oh, look at us, we can balance it. We can make a change. And the change is, instead of going back, as we said last week, all created in the image of God. They come to the temple, and every day they seem delighted to learn all about me. They act like a nation that would never abandon the laws of its God. They ask me to take action on their behalf. This is God. Pretending they want me to be near. We have fasted before you, they say. Why aren't you impressed? Somehow we think we can impress God. Look what I did. Look, I made this change. I'm doing it in the name of justice, yet at the same time putting someone else down. We have been very hard on ourselves, and you don't even notice it. Yeah, look how hard we're being on ourselves. We're making ourselves suffer so bad. And somehow that's helping someone else instead of literally going over and lifting that person up, making sure that their justice is equal to those who can afford more. I will tell you why I respond. It's because you are fasting to please yourselves. Even while you fast, you keep oppressing your workers. What good is fasting when you keep on fighting and quarreling? This kind of fasting will never get you anywhere with me. You humble yourselves by going through the motions of penance. We are a faith of repentance. Bowing your heads like reeds before the wind, you dress in burlap, cover yourselves with ashes. Is this what you call fasting? Do you really think this will please the Lord? No, this is the kind of fasting I want. Hear this, church. Free those who are wrongly imprisoned. Lighten the burden of those who work for you. Let the oppressed go free. And remove the chains that bind the people. Share your food with the hungry. Give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to those who need them. And do not hide from relatives who need your help. Then your salvation will come like the dawn. Your wounds will quickly heal. Your godliness will lead you forward. And the glory of God will protect you from behind. Then when you call, the Lord will answer. Yes, I am here, he will quickly reply. Remove the heavy yoke of oppression. Stop pointing your finger and spreading vicious rumors. Church, it's amazing on how we feel we are entitled to oppress anyone or accuse someone we don't even know because of their wealth, and sometimes their lack of wealth, without any justice whatsoever. That is not justice for the oppressed. That is oppressing others to make us like the false worship, to feel good. Look what I'm doing, Lord. I'm making someone else more difficult instead of truly going over and lifting up those and making sure. In the end, in verse 10, then your light will shine out from the darkness, and the darkness around you will become bright as noon. Folks, justice for those who are less fortunate is something the church needs to work for. We need to find a way to advocate. We need to find a way to provide services that gets them what the country hoped to create in its founding, and that was justice and equality for all. But sometimes the church has lost that. Isaiah is saying God's not impressed with our false worship. If we're going to live out our faith, then we've got to live it out as all are created in the image of God. This is a tough, tough time. This is a tough understanding. Imagine a world where the church no longer persecuted each other. Imagine a world where the church really reached out and lifted up while not pushing someone else down. It's a tough challenge. I encourage you to stay with us as we walk through this Christian faith in real life.